sometimes you get a little nervous, like
Do
every time I'm
you?
about
Yeah,
to.
I was seeing it, man.
Did
Cause he's twitching over there.
it kind of feels that way, and I start to stutter, and I start putting that
Yeah.
extra words in that don't need to be there.
Welcome.
Maybe not quite that
Welcome
bad,
to
but
today's episode.
shut up. Anyway, welcome back to Friends Without Benefits podcast. We're joined by my guest today, Chaz Camelli. Did I say that last
Yeah,
name right,
perfect,
too?
man. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. And everybody knows Adrian Franco from our first podcast episode.
Hello, everybody. It's
Dude,
nice to be back.
yeah, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming out. So, what's been up? What's new?
This guy, he's in Japan. Jealous. He's always out there.
Yeah, dude,
I
feel
swear this guy's a secret agent or something, dude. He's like, he does real estate, but it's like that's a front for like doing hits out, for the federal government or something.
oh yeah,
Yeah, gotta
I
be,
like it. I
bro.
like it.
Gotta be.
you know what? Keep it mysterious, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you go out there pretty frequently, right? So how often?
Yeah. Try to, well, since I got into real estate, so 2 times a year, because before real estate back in Cali, it's like you get 2 weeks off. So it'd be like once a year, but so just playing catch up, I guess.
Yeah. So how long have you been in real estate then?
Been licensed since 2018 and then full time since 21.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. When we came out here, kind of, let's think the same time you guys came out.
Yeah, we moved out here in 2020. So
Okay. Yeah. So just about a year after you.
yeah.
Yeah. After the full exodus.
So what were you doing in California beforehand?
Worked for a medical company and then, had really good benefits. Just as like we called it gold handcuffs. The benefits, the pay, it was just, you just couldn't leave it. And it's part-time. You got the full benefits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I think about getting out of like an actual job and into something where you're doing this on your own, because like when I left the police department, we had benefits for the whole family. The salary was good, and it really like it's guaranteed. You have overtime hours if you want to make more, but it's like the second if you get comfortable there, you ain't going. You're not leaving.
Yeah. I think 100%, man. I think there's a lot of industry, especially in California, right? Because it's
Mhm.
like the living expenses are so high. I remember when I came over here and was going to do the real estate full time, which is a whole nother story. It was freaking hell. I don't think I made my first check until like 8 months in. It was
Oh,
like
really?
$2,000. I mean, but the mindset to shift because in that W-2 comfortable job for so long. I mean, I got married at 22. We had a kid, we had our house. Everything was very like predictable.
Mhm.
And then switching over a new state and then new job. And then, just waking up every day, man, and just trying to like, I didn't realize how slaved I was to that job.
Oh yeah.
And then it probably took about a year, 2 years. Now it's like, it's great. Obviously I love it. But I mean, the biggest thing was my mind on it
Yeah.
and switching over, because it's really nice to know that you're going to get, and when you're in, the department that you're in, the industry, my wife was in education. It's pretty recession proof for the most part.
Mhm.
And we were a union. And, so you don't really have to worry about, being let go or
Right.
stuff like that. So
what brought you to Texas then?
I got mandated, worked the whole COVID thing. Um, I got COVID. I think it was 21 when the shot came out.
I think it was, yeah, right
Yes.
around 21.
So we were getting the first batches of shots. So my company that we worked for was they're like pretty much the government.
Mhm.
So when we were seeing everything shift to the federal government, it quickly went over like kind of the toxin, the corporation. I got COVID when the shots came out, and they came out and they said, "Hey, like, do you want to take a shot?" They only had so many doses. Like, nah, I just got COVID. Just like you get the flu, you don't need a shot or whatever, maybe
Right.
whatever your belief is on that. And so, I think, yeah, just give it to the elderly, give it to people who want it, right?
Mhm.
Didn't think too much about it. And then as things kind of developed, we started hearing rumors that it was going to be mandatory. And I told my boss, I was like, "Yo, dude, if they come out and make this thing mandatory, I'm out of here. I'm not taking a shot just to keep my job. Doesn't matter what it is."
Dude, that's a hard thing to do, because they tried to make us do the same thing, and I said, "I'm not taking the shot." And I was never anti-vax before, like,
I have all my vaccines
I
and
do
all my
too.
shit. I'm like,
And our kids are vaccinated, everything, but when that shot came out, I just said, I don't trust it." And now the more I've done research on certain things, I don't trust any of them. I think there's probably good ones. Am I right?
There for sure is good ones, like stuff that's actually been studied over time.
Right.
But this was like an emergency thing. Like, we got to pump this out.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on it. And being in the medical system for as long as I was, and like seeing the pharmacist and the doctors, and I was in pharmacy. When it rolled out, you could just see everyone was hesitant and they were just falling in line because they wanted to keep their license.
Mhm.
And you could clearly see it, and no one was vocalizing. I was very vocal with it. I got really pissed one day. We got the shots in, and you take out the information packet.
Mhm.
And usually you open these things up like a little square like this, right? And you open it up, and it's like as big as, half this wall
It's like a
Yeah.
of
CVS
stuff.
receipt, dude. Just
It's the only paper somehow you can fold more than 7 times.
Yeah. And like, and it will give you a list of side effects, everything, right? Because there's research on it. And like you can take a bottle of ibuprofen, man. If you ever seen what the ibuprofen little thing says,
Mhm.
holy moly, you're like, how's this even sold over the counter? That's ibuprofen. And so I remember opening it up, and like I was pissed one day, and I like showed it to my pharmacist and my colleagues, and it's blank. It's completely blank. So they
Wow.
put it in the package completely blank. And I think I pointed out something on over the counter, and I go, how long did that take to get approved? Like 15 years, let's just say.
Mhm.
Okay. That was on the pharmacy side. How many years did it take to get over the counter? You're telling me that they made this thing in freaking 6 months, wherever it was, maybe a year, and it's just good. There's gonna be no side effects. Freaking aspirin has side effects.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, dude, like, I don't think. And then you start hearing the Johnson Johnson shots and all this kind of stuff.
They
And
all came out with their own one. Walmart had its own shot,
yeah,
I
dude,
think.
this is like the 1 in 10, like, conditioner, soap, like, you just
yeah,
inject it in your veins, dude.
I was sitting there like, and being in California, and I get it, like people want to keep their jobs, they don't want to lose license. There's a lot of stuff on the line,
Mhm.
but like for me personally, like my character and my what I believed in, I'm like, dude, if I take this shot, like I'm gonna go against everything I believe in. It's not even the shot; it's just like my own personal decision making. It's like if I compromise here, I go, I'm gonna be slave to this job forever.
Right.
And I was kind of like in that moment, I'm like, okay, Lord, like, is this the door for me? Like, are you gonna like, I mean, like, because I wanted to make a jump for something else, but it's just the job was so good.
Right.
And I so I was like, you know what? So instead of getting fired, because I had to make a choice by September, they're gonna, yeah, take the shot, and then they put you on leave.
Mhm.
Now looking back, I probably should just let them fire me. But my goal was, I was like, okay, look, I'm just gonna quit on my terms. I'm gonna go to Texas, see if I figure it out. If I screw up, I fail, at least I can come back to my house. And I personally quit for moving reasons, whatever it was. So I could, that was kind of a backup plan
Sure.
to come back at the job because I really didn't know what the heck I was getting myself into.
Mhm. That's smart. See, at least you left the door open, and a lot of people, I mean, yeah, unless you were in the military, because those guys got kicked out for not
Dude,
getting the
that is
shot.
crazy, the military situation.
Right, but now it's like, "Oh, no, you're getting hired back, 4 years of back pay."
Good.
But, I mean, realistically, as awesome as that sounds, it's good for those who got out and decided to get another job and were able to quickly secure employment. But if you think about the amount of stress from the transition, just outside of the career, and then having to find a job just because you didn't get vaccinated.
Well, and also, wasn't it like a dishonorable discharge or
Eh,
like
something along the
I
lines of
what
that.
was it?
I think
Because
so.
yeah,
I don't
because
know. I would have to look, but
it was for, like, insubordination or some shit, like, you didn't wanna get the shot.
right.
Yeah, I think it was along those lines.
See, I couldn't say, like, I when I got out, I mean, I voluntarily separated, but if
Mhm.
I was in and they would have said, "Hey, you have to get the shot or you're out," I don't know if I'd have the balls to have done it. That would be a very hard decision, especially coming out of the military.
Especially imagine if you had all the years in it too. Let's say you're like,
Right.
you've been 10 years in, 20 years in, and they legit like your pension, everything. From what I understand, it could be different, but yeah, dude, those guys were like, I mean,
No, for sure.
I did like one of my buddies. I think he's in the Air Force Special Forces, but he goes, bro, they pumped me with so much stuff already. He goes, what the f, bro? Like I'm already you
Dude,
know,
that's true because they like, at basic training, they're sticking you with you're in a line, and they're
yeah,
basically
Just
sticking you with a bunch of stuff.
jabbing
I
you.
have no idea what it was. The only one I knew was penicillin because that one came in the ass, and it fucking hurt.
oh,
So,
that's
like,
right,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah,
peanut butter
it's the
shot?
peanut butter shot, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I've gotten that shot several times ever since, but it's regardless, not for that reason. But, like, regardless, I had a ever since then, I've had some memory issues. Now, it could have been from when I hit my head, like, on the bottom of the swimming pool. But it's sometimes, like, just nerves in general. I used to just be able to have normal conversation, but now I really sometimes have to think about what I'm actually saying. Otherwise, it just all jumbles together. I cross up my words, everything, and I have a feeling it has to do with something with that abundance of shots that I got because it only started when I got in the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
No,
knows?
my brother had gotten the COVID shot before I knew there was a COVID shot in existence.
Right.
Because I'd gone and visited my brother, and this was like right when they were like nothing had been shut down yet. Flying was still normal. I don't even think people were really wearing masks yet. And we roll on a post and we stop at like one of the hospitals, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a COVID shot." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, they already got them ready for us." I was like, "Brother, there's no one has announced a shot even exists yet, and we're already like he's already going in the hospital to get a shot." I'm
He was
like,
the test dummy, dude.
"Dude, 100%,
He was the
bro.
one that was on the blank, and they said, "Trust me, bro, there ain't
Side
no side
effects,
effects.
this guy."
Nah, bro, you're good."
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not happening.
Well, I mean, like, kind of with your buddy you just mentioned, like, I think what was really hard for me is that, like, look, if they made the shot and they made it they did a terrible job marketing it, right?
Mhm.
So if they allowed it just freedom of choice like everything else, hey, we got the shot, you know, go take it. If you feel concerned, your family, whatever it may be, cool. Like, I'm all for that. But once you start threatening people's jobs, like, dude, in California, they're talking about having the freaking COVID card where it was to go in the
The
grocery
Oh, I
store.
remember
ID
that.
And
card,
like,
Yes.
I mean, when it locked down, they gave us a badge so we could drive because we got pulled over. We weren't supposed to be out. I mean, people were getting tickets for surfing by themselves in the water. I mean, it was just,
Without a mask
I
on.
remember
yeah,
that
it
they
was
filled
bananas.
they filled a lot of the skate parks up with
Yeah,
sand.
it was, and then it became this like
Yeah.
tribal, like crazy, like agenda thing where it's like if you spoke against it or you weren't with it, like it was just like two sides. I mean, it
Mhm.
wasn't even like I felt so bad for the people who really didn't want to take it or didn't really have an opinion about it, and they just did it because like they didn't care, right? They just like they want to keep their jobs, just whatever, and just kind of kept quiet. That's kind of a big majority. And then you have the people who are vocal on both sides, and the amount of crap that I got from my family members, my coworkers, and then leaving my job and then coming over here. I mean, I was telling my mom the other day, I was like, dude, like, we're kind of having whatever little issue. And I was like, Mom, like, I'm a different person since COVID. Like, COVID changed me in a good way,
Sure.
much more like, you know, firm in what my beliefs are, but much more hardcore in a lot of things I do. Like, I'm very, like, sure, like, I'm not going to let someone dictate my life ever again.
Right.
And so,
It changed for us because we couldn't have hit the nail better on the head. We walked out like, we left California April of 2020, and I swear as we crossed the border into Texas, they shut down the state of California.
yeah, that's about exactly the right time. Yeah.
It
April.
could not have been better. I was like, "Oh my god," like, we made it to the land of the free right before they closed the border down. That's what it felt like, and I tell you, I remember looking back and everybody was locked down for everything, and I felt sorry for 'em, but I never knew the extent
Oh,
of
bro,
kinda
it
what it was like.
spent like I have stories on stories of the freaking bullshit that like went on
Yeah,
with that. I mean, it was because I was in medical. I mean, I was in it and
right,
like seeing all the just the lunacy of it all, which is, I mean, I really thought I was like, look, if they've already crossed the line and gone this far, like there's no hope. Like they warned us about this crap in school.
right,
If you like, I remember, I'm like, all the signs, I'm like, guys, they told us, like, if you go down this pond, like, this is where it leads.
mhm,
And you guys are just signing up and just like no questions asked. I'm like, it's mind blowing. I like didn't even feel like America
right.
at all.
Yeah, that's and it has nothing to do with the politics of it either. Because I know when they were doing the research for it, like, Trump was in office, and, I'm a Trump supporter. But I knew if they get this thing approved, I ain't taking it.
Yeah.
There's no way. But yeah, no, it's crazy. I'm glad we're through it all.
Yeah.
We've come out the other side. It's obviously very much tapered down now. Not that it's not around, but it's just I don't know. It just doesn't seem nearly as scary as it used to.
Yeah, shoot, I got COVID 3 times, and
I think I did too.
I was fine, dude. Like, I like to think I'm, semi-healthy person,
That's
Mhm.
sweet.
I don't eat terrible and I work out, but it's like the first time I got it, I was like, "Okay, I don't feel sick," but I woke up one morning and I couldn't smell anything. So then I went and I grabbed a bottle of vodka and I took a swig and I was like, I have COVID. I don't taste anything.
That's actually a good test.
There's a
Yeah,
To be
prognosis
honest.
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
because I couldn't smell it, and I took a swig, and I was like, "This is just water. My chest is warm, but like I'm sick,
That's
bro."
funny. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then I was over it like a week later, and then I got it again like the next year, and that one felt like a cold, and I was over it in like a day.
Did
So
you decide, "You know what? I can't taste anything anyway. I might as well start eating healthy as shit." Like, that's
no,
what I would have
dude,
done. That's
no.
what I like to think that I would have done, but I probably wouldn't have either.
See, I love vegetables, so I was kind
You're
of
one of those
pissed.
people, huh?
That's definitely
Well, so
gay as shit right there.
right, so I
I
grew
love
up.
vegetables.
I do, bro. Well, so I grew
I
up,
love this guy. I'm not. I'm totally choosing
my,
Adrian.
so as a kid, we lived in Central California, so it's like nothing but farmlands. My dad was a heavy equipment operator, and he did all the harvesting and stuff for like a big farmer. So we would consistently have fresh fruits and vegetables from the fields because he would
That's
just
cool. Yeah.
bring home a ton. So I was
Mhm.
like, bro, this is some good shit, dude. This is amazing. And then I grew up like that, and we'd eat, wild game a lot too because we'd kill stuff while we were out there. So I'm like, that's kinda how I grew up, and when we'd go to Mexico, it's kinda the same thing, they don't put a lot of preservatives in the food, so it's like I grew up, eating fresh food, drinking fresh milk, and nothing but vegetables
Straight from the teat?
straight from the tip.
Yeah, man. I didn't eat like any like until like Texas, like having like real meat, real like
That roast
farm
beef,
like
baby.
you know. Uh,
Yeah, you probably didn't grow up much as a hunter in
oh hell no,
California.
dude.
Dude, me either. I hadn't ever even killed, like, my first animal. Oh, I went hog hunting. That was the first animal I ever killed, and that wasn't until we were here.
Well, what's crazy on that part? So this is what like the big thing I kind of the only time I really got kind of fearful was obviously like when the COVID happened and all the stuff was like just taken, like all the food was taken like immediately.
Mhm.
And then I started thinking, I was like, oh my God, dude, the California infrastructure for food is so fragile.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so when we were coming to Texas, that was a big thing. And like now we get our meat from a ranch and like all like the way we get food is so different with chickens. And like now I don't really think about it, but at the time it was so um comforting to know, okay, I got, because I like to have food, and like we can actually get food in Texas. Like knowing Texas with the ocean access, the border access to Mexico, the infrastructure. I know a lot of people talk shit on it, but like coming from California and coming to Texas, like land of the free, I mean, you truly feel like, yo, this state and the people around you can take care of themselves. In California,
Right.
you're like, yo, dude, you're gonna get like
You're
what's that
screwed,
zombie
bro.
movie, dude, in the New York City with Will Smith? Like that's
I
what
am
I
legend.
yeah,
I am
dude. I'm
legend.
thinking like, bro, like this is what's going on like in
Yeah.
California if things hit the fan.
Oh, for sure, and I think that's why, I mean, Texas is one of the I would say, and I could be very much wrong, and people are gonna disagree with this, but Texas is one of those one states that if it's separated from the United States, it could hold its own.
Oh yeah, dude.
Bro,
Dude,
we just got our own stock exchange
I know that today.
that we just started trading, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
I didn't hear nothing about that. What is that?
Today, we're trading out of Dallas, Texas Stock Exchange, bro.
total side like whatever you want. Okay. I'm not very good with words, guys. I'm sorry.
You're
I'm half
good.
deaf. I am a little bit retarded. Okay. My vocabulary is only very limited. Um, I was listening to this guy talk about Dallas Fort Worth, and like I've seen it and come from California. Like when we first started showing homes, it was mind blowing to see like homes built. Right, that was like blowing my mind. Just development, stock exchange, like you just mentioned. But he's saying, and I really see it because I've traveled like Tokyo and these places around the world that I visited. But they're talking about like DFW is going to be the new financial like global spot. I don't know if
Really?
I'm sure it's gonna happen, but it's set up for it to be able to like, the stock exchange and a lot of the financing and the investing here is gonna be a huge international hub. And then the World Cup, like seeing the Japanese people come here, because we went to a few events and like all the other like foreigners visiting for the game,
Mhm.
they can see the love for Texas. I'm hoping that's gonna bring more business in. And
Yeah.
it's really exciting.
Oh, for sure, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really know a whole lot about, like, I've seen read up and stuff on Japan, but the people from watching them come out here and they all bring trash
Oh
bags
yeah.
to clean up after the World Cup games, like, dude, that is such a night and day difference compared to any other, like, country. I wanna go to Japan now and see what it's like.
I have a quick story. So when I first went there in 2016, my buddy's like, "Yeah, I got a ball game," and it's a long story of like we there's no social media, it wasn't popular, so everything was new experiences, right? And so we go to a ball game in Hiroshima, and one, the tickets are cheap as heck. But we showed up there, and everyone has food and beer and everything, right? They bring into the stadium. There's all these stands. They have cups there. They open up your beers, they pour it in cups, right? They get your food, they package it all. You can go and bring it in the game. And the game's insane. Everyone actually like pays attention. They got the bands there. Everything's like every minute of it is excitement. And the prices for the food, they got the beer girls running up and down, filling up beer so you don't have to leave the seat. I mean, the ball games in Japan are so fun.
Really?
And as far as the cleaning goes, I mean, in Tokyo and everywhere, there's no trash cans.
Mhm.
So everyone take it. It just, when you go there, you naturally step in line because you respect the culture because we don't get that here.
Right.
So like the elderly person gets on the train, you want to get up and sit them down, right? Because everyone else is doing it. Everyone, waits for you to get in the elevator. Everyone bows. So you just naturally kind of step in line if you respect that and enjoy that, right? There's
Yeah.
obviously assholes out there that just, don't care. But yeah, man, 100%. So it's not a big surprise that they're doing that.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me, and that's what I'm thinking. This would be so awesome to see their culture. How was the food and the drinks there at the ball game? Was it expensive like it is here?
No, even the airport's almost the same price as that in the country.
Oh, really?
It's like you can go in the airport and it's like $5 for a beer.
Dude, I would go to the Dodgers games when we were living in California to get a Dodger
like
dog and a beer.
$15 for a fucking beer, dude.
At least
Yeah.
$15, like 15 to 20 bucks
Yeah.
for a beer, and the hot dog itself was $15. I think it was me and my dad. We got 2 beers, 2 hot dogs, and it was like 85. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Bro,
yeah.
why?"
Dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
It-
it's sorry.
You go ahead.
No, I'm good. I've been talking a lot.
No, like
I'll shut up.
I think it's like Tuesdays or Wednesdays at the Rangers ballpark. They got dollar dogs.
oh, you can't beat it.
Dollar hot dogs,
Where's it?
bro.
Where's it at?
The Rangers ballpark.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
dollar dogs, baby.
Dude, I can't stand I like going to the Ranger games, they're fun. I can't stand the parking situation that they have there. It takes forever to get out of the parking lot. Like, you spending 2 hours to get away from the
No,
field.
bro. You
It's
got to know where to park, dude.
well, I haven't figured it out, so you just let me know
I'll let
because
you know where to
it's
park, dude.
I
Because I
park near
walk
the
and
exit.
see. You don't park on near the main street. You don't park there. You park on the south side. So like how when you're going, there's the old Choctaw Stadium, and there's
Yeah.
all right. So say you exit 30, you take a left, and you go straight. There's that first light,
Right.
and then there's the Choctaw ballpark, and then you keep going to the second light. Then there's the Rangers ballpark.
Okay, right.
So when you get to the Choctaw one, you take a left, and it's that same parking lot, but you enter on the south side of it, and you park there. So when you leave, you just take off directly to the backside of the highway.
I'll review this footage later, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you taking notes over there?
everybody better be
Yeah.
writing this one
It's
down.
like it's gonna never be able to park there.
Yeah, because everyone will leave and try to go around and go straight on 30. But if you go the back way and enter on the second entrance of 30, there's zero wait. You
we
just
should
get
we
on.
should cut this, otherwise people are gonna
Yeah.
start parking there.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, because I do it all the time, bro. That's how I do it, bro. It's
That's how you
it's
do
a-
everything, bro.
It's a hack, dude. Even like when I go to like the AT&T to watch like Supercross or something,
Mhm.
you park on the north side of the Rangers ballpark.
Yeah.
So when you exit, you just go around the back, and you're like everyone tries to go the same way. You just go around the backside, and you're like the 10th car out.
And I won't have to fight anybody in the parking lot.
Nobody.
Like, I'm trying to do my jujitsu on with some of
Yeah.
these people, dude. I want to choke them out. Like,
Give 'em a old change in the
I'm
parking
sitting
lot.
here, I'm like backed into a spot so I could just pull forward. I'm not pulling in and trying to back up. Hell no. Like, nobody's ever gonna let me in. But I swear I'm like 5 feet away from the exit, and it will take me an hour to get out because just everybody is cutting in. I literally want to get out and choke somebody. Like, it's not gonna happen. But so anyway, you like to do kind of some the fighting and everything like that too, right?
Yeah, I like the gay shit. I did jujitsu. It doesn't really get much scarier than that.
Yeah, dude. You guys literally choke each other for
Yeah.
fun, dude.
As long as you don't look at each other, that's the rule. You're good to go.
No eye contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I can imagine like when you guys are rolling around and be like, oh, you're rolling, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, somebody's dick is right next to your head.
Oh,
You flick him in the balls or something.
I'll do that.
Give him the oil change, dude.
Definitely, there's definitely tempting. The oil change is definitely there.
Dude, the oil change, bro.
Yeah, hey, it makes them flip over
That's a good move, dude.
if they're not given position.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you
hilarious.
can grab the
dude.
ass cheek a little bit. You know, that no one's gonna see
Yeah.
with the gi.
How long you been fighting for?
I've been training since
Training. My bad.
yeah. The reason why I say that because it's like there's a big like I'm not really fighting. I mean, at the end of the day, like I show respect to the people who actually, Muay Thai and the MMA guys, because it's a lot, right? They're putting on the line. Like we're just fucking around on the map,
Sure.
in my opinion. Obviously, there's certain levels to it, but I've been doing it for, gosh, I started when I was 17, so in '07. Did it until I got married, 22, so like 21.
Mhm.
Or sorry, I guess that's 2011, right? And then took 6 years off, got fight in the water, was about to get jumped. I was, me and this guy were snapping at each other, and then his buddy on the beach was gonna, I got not three guys, I got one guy in the water behind me, two guys on the beach ready to jump me, and then, I also got out of that situation. And I was thinking, I'm like, shit, man, like I don't know my jiu-jitsu anymore.
Mhm.
And I was trying, and then so it was a really shitty feeling, to not have that confidence. And I was like, you know what, I think I was going to school. I think I just got my bachelor's. I went to school, got my bachelor's, and I had some extra time to get, like, you know what? For my health alone, let me just get back into it.
Mhm.
And then obviously been doing it from when I did. The competitive side of me just picked it back up. It was like starting back over as a purple belt, which is like 3 belts in. And then at 28, um, got back into it, and then COVID happened, and just kind of like, what else to
Can't
do?
can't wrestle.
Yeah, so what we would board up the places and block them all out, and all like speakeasy it. And go, we
That's
took this,
sick, dude.
we took the mats from the gym, and we found one of my buddies had an office downtown, and we just cleared all the desks, and we just put like mats all in there. We had some cool videos of us all like legitimately parking away, running up, hiding, because it was just dead. And it's at Dana Point, which is like a very
Iron
small,
Legend,
slow
dude.
town, like. And but that was really fun. I mean, the community, the camaraderie, everything. Because all of us were like the jujitsu guys. It's kind of like any kind of group, like maybe hunting or motorcycling, or it's a very independent culture,
Mhm.
and a lot of trust with the colleagues and all that kind of stuff. So all of us are clear, like, fuck it, dude. Like, we don't give a shit. All of us are pretty healthy.
Right.
Of course, I got COVID from jujitsu, but
Well, I mean, maybe,
oh
right?
no,
Right.
no, it's for sure. Yeah, for sure, jujitsu.
Hey,
Um,
buddy, cuffing my face
yeah.
while you're choking me.
The best for freaking people wearing masks during jiu-jitsu. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing, dude?
So when I came back and I had to go through the academy again for Plano PD, and we did the same thing. We'd have to do like we're doing combative, so we're rolling around with each other a lot. But wearing the mask while doing that was an absolute nightmare, dude. I could not breathe in that thing.
Not only that, but it's just like, why? Like, I mean, you're
We're
already that
we're
close.
Right.
sweating on each other,
Yeah.
bro.
Right, and those masks we found out didn't work
Yeah.
anyway.
It's
So what's
like,
the
Yeah.
point,
it's just a complete,
It's like,
yeah.
bro,
So
cough on my mouth.
yeah, I like think about, but yeah, no. So took it. So I guess what, like, so that's 3, 2, 5 plus another 5. I don't know. I guess like 12 years of training.
So for the training, do you actually do any competitions or anything like that?
Yeah, I haven't done one as black belt. Probably do that. I'm master 2, which is like, the age group is after 35. The hard part with black belt, so I competed as brown, won the world championship as brown belt, got my black belt. So that was pretty badass. So it was kind of, that's, I was doing real estate. So when I came here, the reason why I did real estate was because I went to a jiu-jitsu gym and trained jiu-jitsu,
Mhm.
and the hours were going to allow that. And so that's why I focused really hard on that, won that. And then once that kind of shifted, I went solo around the same time.
Mhm.
And then I kind of made that achievement. And I was like, okay, let me pour it into real estate. And obviously that's, a big focus on mine now. Still train, don't compete. But yeah, no, I competed quite
That's
a bit.
awesome.
Yeah.
When I was in the Air Force, they taught us Krav Maga. Krav Maga.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Have you seen people do that?
Yeah.
It seems like crap.
Yeah.
It's almost like they train you just enough to get your ass kicked, right? So like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna use my Krav Maga.
That was
Dude.
such a hype, dude. At
Get
the
punched in
time,
the face.
I don't even know
It
why
was
they
like-
came into this, but why didn't they do like jujitsu?
why did
I'm
what?
surprised the military doesn't do like
Oh.
a jujitsu style or.
Well, I think
something.
they do it now. I think when you were in, it was like jiu-jitsu wasn't as big in America yet.
Maybe
Because it didn't really get huge. Because when did you go in? Like early 2000s?
2008.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like it wasn't like as big of a thing.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. It was, but I knew like learning it. I'm thinking, oh, there's no way.
Or like
this
at least
is-
they needed to teach out like Muay Thai, bro. Like throw kicks and punches, dude.
you would think, but I
Yeah.
would say that there was more training in the after hours fights that we had than there was anything.
Parking lot
We did
brawls,
we did these
dude.
things called combat circles where it was like if you were a new guy or something, it was like the whole squadron, we'd be on a TDY or something like that, which is basically just a temporary, like, "Hey, we're going over here to do training at a different place." So we would get in these circles, right? The guys would all get 2 guys would sit back to back, and then they'd say, "Fight," and then you get up and you just fight each other.
Like
And,
striking too?
no, it was more grappling, just
Okay.
wrestling and stuff like that, but 'cause we're also not trying to get hurt because then we're gonna be
Yeah.
compromising the job. But either way, there was more training in that than there was in any of those Krav Maga sessions or something like, "Oh, here the how we're gonna take this away."
Yeah, it's like a fucking, like, karate bullshit,
Right.
like
Yeah.
a tai chi.
And I mean, and it was so soft-handed is what it felt like. And then when I got to my first department working for Bakersfield, dude, that was the first time that we actually did any sort of combative style training where you're actually rolling around, you're wrestling, you're doing that. That was the first time I ever got choked out too.
For police work, jiu-jitsu is essential
Oh, for
because it's,
sure.
maintaining because you don't have to hurt the person, you can control them,
Mhm.
obviously. There's a certain style of jiu-jitsu that's, like, for that and for self-defense. A lot of stuff that we do now is a lot of, sport jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You can get away with a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously, if you did that sport jiu-jitsu in a fight, you're gonna get your freaking face crushed in. So
Right.
there's like, but I think at the end of the day, it's like, you do it long enough, you kind of know what style to use. I was
Mhm.
fortunate enough to start in the time of jiu-jitsu when it was like what we call more Gracie jiu-jitsu. So what you saw with like it's Hoyler, right? Or is it that was in the UFC? Hoyler or
Yeah,
Hoist
yeah,
Chris?
Hoist
Oh,
Hoist
yeah.
Gracie.
Okay, so like my first instructor was under them, Hoyler and Hoist. But like the style of jiu-jitsu is very top heavy, very like dominant with like knee on belly, side control,
Yeah.
mount, all the very dominant positions as opposed
Right.
to now, like, you see those memes or those videos of people scooting on their butt. Like, come on, you want to fight, bro?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
dropped
yeah,
down.
because like a lot of the sport jiu-jitsu is kind of
yeah.
it's pretty like, yeah. I mean, there's like you know, real self-defense jiu-jitsu is take them down and control them and
Yeah.
submit as soon as possible. You're not worrying about points. You're worrying about eliminating threat.
Yeah. We did one thing where the guy's like, "Hey, you guys gotta know what it's gonna feel like to either pass out or be very close to getting, like, choked
Choked.
and about to pass out. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna line you guys up, and somebody's gonna come behind you, they're gonna put you in a carotid hold, and before you pass out, you're supposed to tap out." I said, "Okay." So they got in behind me, and he put me in it, and I said, "I can last this out," right? And then all of a sudden, he let go of me, and I remember there was one of the instructors who was there, who was a combatives instructor, his name is David Nelson, rest in peace. He was, like, looking at me, and he's just staring at me, right? And I'm thinking, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And I realized everybody's looking at me. I'm thinking, "What the fuck is going on?" My legs started just going crazy, twitching, just like
Yeah,
and apparently I was out. I had no idea. I was out for, like, maybe 5 or 10 seconds, and
yeah.
I had no idea that I had passed out. It was like I was having a conversation with you, and all of a sudden, we're having the conversation still, only everybody's looking at me, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" But, yeah, and then like I said, David Nelson was the one he was kneeling down in front of me. He ended up actually getting, killed in a vehicle pursuit about 4 or 5 weeks later.
Oh shit,
So,
dude.
Damn.
that was pretty tough situation. I
Yeah.
was just thinking, like, that was the last of one of the memories that I even had of him, and we were
Staring at you.
graduating. It was, like, the day or 2 before we
Oh
graduated
yikes, man.
from the police academy, but, man, that was crazy, though. That was the first time I had ever been choked out.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's probably one of the last times I've been choked out
we
too,
can
though.
choke you out again, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, buddy. I
yeah,
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Usually
be a bonding moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make that joke, but I
yeah,
was oh,
yeah,
wait till my
yeah.
pants are down.
Oh,
Yeah.
we could take care of you on that.
At least wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. No,
Honestly,
thanks.
I would say I was lucky in the, football program I was in during off season. We did like wrestling stations and like combat stations. So we would do the Roman Greco a lot. We did a ton of Roman Greco wrestling. And I liked it because you either start at an advantage or you start at a disadvantage. Either they're on top of you. And unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know what I would say, but I was a track runner and power lifter. So like I lifted with the fat boys and I ran with the skinny boys. So when I wrestled, I'd wrestled with the fat boys and it was a lot easier because they weren't as fast as me. So I was able to like the second they would like misstep, your ankle's mine, dude. I'm flipping you. And like we did that a lot. We'd do a king of the mat.
Mhm.
So it'd be like all the big boys on a big mat, and you could not stand up. That was the
Really?
only rule. You had to push everybody off the mat. You could not stand up. The second you stood up, you're DQ'd. You're out.
Yeah.
I won that like 3 times, dude. Greatest feeling ever. And it's like pure leverage, you know, because I also played inside receiver and outside linebacker. So it's like I'm hitting people or I'm getting my shit rocked, you know. So it's like you learn to take the hit, but then you learn to give the hit. And it's like I got really good at wrestling, but I was super upset because my school was one of the few schools that didn't have a wrestling program.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
wrestling's not that big in Texas.
it's not,
Yeah,
dude.
for the schools.
And I wanted to wrestle so bad, but it was like I had to go to a different school if I wanted to wrestle. And I was like, I'm not gonna make my parents pay 6 grand a year for me to go to a different high school, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, it's kinda wild to think, I mean, I think Rockwell has a wrestling program 'cause that has
They
some
have a
clients move over.
very good wrestling program.
Yeah, but I guess, like, I would just think, like, everyone had a wrestling program, right? Especially in Texas,
You would think.
and then it's really not a thing.
All the money goes to football, baby.
It does.
That's
It
true.
it really does.
The
Yeah,
stadiums, they gotta get their money's worth out of
They
the
yeah,
stadiums
do,
that they
bro.
put in, dude. Those things look like
yeah.
NFL.
Oh yeah. We would play like homecoming games, packed crowd. It was like a couple thousand people watching us, dude. Parking lots were completely full. And like, you know, you'd score and like the roar of the crowd, you know, because you'd be playing and you're not paying attention to the noise, but then like someone would score, the horns would go off, and it's like deafening, and you're just like, damn, bro, like that's insane.
It's cool though, man, because it's definitely a huge cultural aspect of the state.
It
You
is.
know, it's d yeah. I think I went to my first high school football game was Rockwell and Heath.
Oh, really?
Like, when I
That's
moved
a
here, my very first, because like, when I grew up in Huntington Beach, California,
Mhm.
and we like, PE was surf. I'm like, if you did football, you're a douche, like, you're lame as shit if you
I
did
didn't know
football.
they had that. Oh, I see, I've never been close enough to the coast
Yeah,
that
you're in a
would've
freaking ghetto, dude. Bakersfield, where the fuck you were. Like, yeah,
Well, I lived up in Northern California too,
that
but
has
it was never I was always more inland. I didn't
yeah.
know that surf was a P like, that's a I didn't know
So,
your school would be close enough.
this guy
theirs was chemistry. They're teaching them how to cook crack, dude.
yes,
That's
dude,
bad.
straight up, like,
Yeah.
really bad. So, we always had a joke in California, like, because we live by the coast, or other bougie asses and spoiled, you know, upbringing. They're like, "Yo, if you're gonna live inland California, like, why the hell live in California? Like,
Yeah.
you might as well go to another state because it's so damn expensive."
I didn't have a
And you
choice, bro. I was a child.
What's that?
I said I didn't have a choice. I was a kid, bro.
Yeah, it's true. And you're
Yeah.
Mexican, you're Mexican too, so
Yeah,
I figured he's white, you know, he
we
should
lived
be,
in
you
a
know,
farm.
Dude, I was born in San Bernardino, and
dude,
we moved away pretty quickly, so we never really were there that much, and any time that we came back, it was because my dad got stationed up in Northern California, so we didn't have the choice to be close to the beach. But afterwards, my dad got out. I mean, he secured a job. The employment was in Bakersfield, which is
there is a lot of good employment in Bakersfield, surprisingly.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a job there, and I didn't think I was gonna get it, but yeah, they have
Yeah.
a huge factory down there for Nestle, and yeah, he got a good job right out the gate, was pretty hard on him, to
There's
be
good
honest.
oil there too, isn't there?
Tons of oil,
Yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
tons of
I know
oil.
there's a big oil industry there.
That was the difference for the guys who, when we came on for the police academy too, they were like some previous oil workers, and they were like, "Well, my boss said that if this doesn't work out, I can always go back to the oil field," and I was making 120,000 a
Yeah.
year. I said, "See ya. That you might as well have signed your I quit notice right there," because they knew they could make more money, and they didn't have to go through the pain and agony that the rest of us who didn't have a backup plan.
I don't know, but if they're a roughneck, dude, you're better off being a police, dude. Because like one of my
I'm telling you, I think 90% of those oil guys went back to oil.
yeah, but like the way I see it is like so I have family in the oil industry,
Mhm.
and he's like a second uncle or something. Bro got his arm ripped off on a rig. So
Ooh.
like the so as it drills, they smack a chain around the next pipe
Mhm.
and it tightens and then it pushes it down. They take it off, loosen it. Well, one of the times smacked around, caught his arm, pipe dropped, ripped his arm,
Yeah, I can
plucked
see
it like a
that.
chicken wing, dude.
Was this your Uncle Stumpy you were telling me about?
No, that's a leg.
Oh,
But
the hobbles.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, and crazy thing is, bro still drives a stick shift to this day with one arm, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
Oh,
It's
that's
insane.
He's
And it
ripping it down the highway like,
oh, and the messed up part is it's, like, not even a shifting arm, it's the opposite arm, so he's, like, reaching across to shift, dude.
oh,
using his
have you
knees to
told him?
drive. Yeah.
Have you told him that he can drive an automatic? It's fine.
Oh, he don't care,
They got
bro.
paddle shifters
He
nowadays.
don't give a shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh,
He's an
boy.
OG, man. Because 'cause they're all from Mexico, like, they're hard people, dude. They don't care.
Oh, that's why he doesn't
Yeah.
want
Yeah, he's like, "I don't give a shit, dude." He probably got paid out by the old company, so he's just living at this point, you
Yeah.
know?
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I could do that. Yeah, you're gonna catch me driving the car that doesn't even require the button to start.
The
You know,
Tesla.
the Tesla, bro. I'm an advocate.
Dude, so I love Tesla. Talking about like, and I want Tesla, but I feel there is an image as a realtor, like growing up in Tesla,
Mhm.
like
It's the new
you're gonna, there's gonna be questions asked by the client in their head.
what kind? What do you mean?
Like
What kinda
they're
guy
either
is
like
this?
for, because a lot of people hate on Tesla.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like, I don't know, could be anything.
Now I would say I think that Tesla is now the new white Mercedes for
And that's what you
Or,
want it to be. It
no, I'm
definitely.
not saying it
no,
is. I'm saying that
it's
that it used to be like if you got well in real estate, you always drove a white Mercedes.
or no,
That's
it was
separate, yeah.
the,
And now it's the Tesla.
base model BMW is what it was.
Well, either way, I feel like if somebody really has a problem with the car that I drive because of the politics that are behind it or whoever the owner is, they're probably not my client anyway. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm a chameleon, man. I don't
Right.
care what you like. I'm into it.
Right. So but
Yeah.
if they want to judge me that hard,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Dude, I drive a hail like my Honda Civic has hail damage all over it, and I show up still.
Yeah, but you got a Honda Civic,
Dude,
bro.
I get
I'd
so
buy
much
it.
respect for the Honda. So
That's what I'm saying,
this is what's
dude.
crazy. That's why I had the question, because I was a little insecure about the Honda, even though it got great gas mileage. But I'm like, it's a Honda. I mean, it just, you roll up with whatever the listing rate may be. But I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, that's a great car, great gas mileage, really reliable, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm being very financially responsible right now.
See,
Right.
I get that for the Mazda too, bro. They're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude, this
yeah.
is like a comfortable car, a little family car." I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks, 32 miles a gallon, baby. Yeah, you're right, dude.
I feel like I can actually close more listings now with driving the Tesla than I did from my previous. I did have a Mercedes, and it was a nice one too.
Okay.
And so when I pulled up in that, I think people thought, "Oh, you're overcharging me. You're buying this Mercedes, and now you gotta do
Yeah.
this."
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
why,
like,
like, I kind of, on the luxury, if you're a luxury realtor, only does luxury, I get that.
Mhm.
Or you have a really nice truck, or, you're like our friend who only does $1 million listings
sure.
or buys.
Yeah.
I don't know what friend you're talking about.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I've always thought about that too. It's like, I was actually like chat GPTing, like, I'm like, how can I want a luxury car, it's a little bit nicer, but that doesn't show luxury. It's more neutral, where you don't have that kind of, if you're just not putting that in that person's mind where you're gonna lose a deal or something, right?
Civic
Right.
Type R.
Was that?
Civic Type R.
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
see you in,
yes,
I can see you in a Type R.
Nah.
I
It's
could,
cool car.
dude.
No,
I
we'll
can
figure it.
see you. I can see you being the guy who like shows up with your T-shirt on, your shorts, your flip flops, and like, "Hey, I've already locked this deal down for you." Like, we already know you're a great agent anyway.
This is
But
how I dress all the time, girl. I mean, like,
I feel like I'm the guy who goes into the office. I do the same thing. I'm the only guy I think I walks in there wearing flip flops. Like, it's too hot outside, dude. I don't care.
yeah, dude, I'm not wearing I got one guy today wearing a suit. I'm like, hell no,
No, that's
dude.
gross, dude.
Oh yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I couldn't do that either. I started doing that when I first started out. I was wearing a full suit.
I remember that.
And to be honest with you, I think it worked at
It
first.
does. It does.
And then I had one guy go, "I don't know how you're possibly doing this in a suit right now," because it was like in the middle of August and it was cooking. And I started wearing the suit so much that I wore them out real quick too. And I realized, okay, this is going to be way too expensive to constantly have these things dry cleaned and kept up.
Well, the hard part about the suit game is that if you do that on first impressions, or where it may be, you have to stay consistent,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like, if I dress like a celeb, anything after that, man, like, is like, if I do my hair, people don't even recognize me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I now I'll do collared shirts. I keep it a much more casual just because it's too tough to keep doing that, like you said, every single day. But it's expensive, man, because I'm just getting fatter.
Yeah, but
I need to
also,
work out.
like, even then too, I feel like if you show up in a suit to show, $300,000 house, a lot of people will get, like they'll see you and they get almost intimidated, where they're like, this
That is
like
true.
yeah, they want a normal person to help them. They don't want, like, this dude that's, like, way up here, and then they're, like, a little bit intimidated about what you're wearing, your presence itself.
Right.
It's like, I want my clients to be super comfortable with, what I'm wearing.
And I think that to kind of piggyback off on that, Texas is a unique situation for that because there's such a large range of homes on
Yes.
pricing points
Mhm.
that and people are more down to earth here. They really are.
Mhm.
And I think that goes way farther. I mean, all of us kind of pretty much dressed very similar, very casual, kind of same. I feel demeanor.
Mhm.
And I think it works. Like you couldn't do the same thing in California. Is what I'm trying to get at in certain markets or a certain luxury. Like if I showed up like this, even in North Dallas,
Oh, yeah.
it's like, n- I mean, I don't, sometimes it works, but it's not going to be the same as the really pretty realtor who shows up all dolled up and tells them what they want to hear.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, no, it definitely, and then also, I would say I showed a house, and I was wearing just a blazer, and I wasn't overly dressed up, but I had jeans on that were nice jeans. I had the blazer on, and I showed this house that was like $85,000 in Quinlan. And they, I think, felt almost a little bit uncomfortable too with how kind of overdressed I was for the situation. And I kept in touch with them. And then as I think it was like a year later, because I told them, I said, "Hey, you probably should hold off on buying right now," because she was still finishing off school and then she was going to secure a job after that. I said, "Hold off on buying it because the houses that we were looking at were basically sideways. These things were,
yeah,
they were trash because I mean, 85,000 out here is, that's what you're
Junk.
going to get."
Yeah.
And so they did, and I kept following up with them, periodically, and then I met them the next time, and I was wearing more casual clothes, and they were like, we're actually glad." They're like, "It looks like you've casualed up a little bit more
really.
since then," and they're like, "At first, we were kind of uncomfortable because we thought we were wasting your time because you were so well dressed,"
Oh,
and we
maybe I
thought,
need to dress like that. Then that'd be great. You should
shoot,
not
I
get
mean,
your time wasted.
it might it might work out, but either way, it made them feel uncomfortable because of how dressed up I was. They thought that I only did a certain level, like, I guess maybe the way I appeared, but I only did a certain price point and above, and I'm like, "No, dude, I work everything. It doesn't matter what the price is for me." And they were cool, and we ended up closing the house for like 250
No, nice.
$250,000 later, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's just because they waited and waited for this for her
yeah.
schooling to be done, so
Yeah, I think for me it was, like, going into my 2nd year. Didn't really know a lot, because I just finished college, got into real estate, so I was like, I don't know what impression to have for, like, luxury clients because I was trying to get into that market, and I met these people, by far the wealthiest people I've ever met, right? And I'm shown these massive homes, and the husband, bro, is dressed like he's homeless, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got
Super
a
common thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're coming from Florida, and he's got, like, a race boat team, like, he's got a race car team. This dude's him, and I'm, like, trying to look nice, and the next time we showed him houses, I'm dressed like a normal person, and then, like, from there, he was, like, acting like I was his boy,
Yeah.
So I was like, "Damn, bro, I just need to just dress normal," and then after that, I was like, "You know what? Imma just dress comfortably. Imma wear a collared shirt," When I do wear, like a t-shirt, it's a nicer t-shirt,
yeah.
but, like, even then, I was just like, "Okay," so, like, that kinda gave me a feel for a lot of the luxury clientele.
Yeah, I think the luxury, I mean, if you're just yourself, man, like,
Yeah,
because most of those guys aren't dressing up, and then, like, you're not gonna impress them by dressing up,
Right.
you
exactly.
know? They're just be yourself, like, I had a little bit of excuse because I just told 'em I get done training, so I'm, like, usually and then I really am, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
I kind of prep that so I can get away with it, but, um, yeah, no, I think it's a really important at the end of the day, I mean, people read body language.
I think that's
yeah,
what it is. They're gonna read you as it is. They're gonna say, "Hey, is this person being honest with me? Do I like working with them?" That's really what's gonna make the biggest difference from
Yeah.
it. So, well, anyway, guys, we gotta wrap this one up, but
We just started, dude.
I know it feels like it, right?
right.
Guys, I appreciate it. Thank you again for coming out and doing this. And, if anybody else got any questions for these guys, you got any ideas, some topics that you want to hear on the future podcast, please go ahead, reach out to me, message me, and we'll try and get those answered. But, like, subscribe, and comment, and we will see you on the next episode.